Hyun clenches his fists and declares that he'll show what tasty really means as the system announces the start of the quest. With a cold and focused stare, Hyun laughs and calls the situation funny, showing a shift in his resolve and confidence. Choi Chang-dong holding his nose in confusion and fear, wondering what kind of situation he's in. Hyun raises his fists in disbelief, saying it feels like a scene from a TV show. Ask ChatGPT. Choi Chang-dong, confused and frustrated, questions what kind of situation he's in. Meanwhile, Hyun raises his fists, stunned by the surreal moment, saying it feels like a TV show. Choi mocks him, asking if he really learned to fight from YouTube videos. But before he can finish, Hyun lands another powerful system-assisted jab straight to his chest. The bully is stunned and confused after being hit. He wonders what just happened, questioning if the protagonist had been secretly learning boxing and when that started. The furious attacker charges forward, screaming in rage, thinking he now has the upper hand. But before he can strike, Hyun lands another powerful punch straight to his face, halting him instantly. The system activates again, registering another jab. Hyun throws a clean punch with perfect form. The impact is intense as multiple jabs land in rapid succession, overwhelming his opponent and pushing him back. Hyun activates the system and unleashes a barrage of jabs. The blue system notifications flood the scene as each punch lands directly on his opponent's face. Fueled by determination, Hyun overwhelms him with sheer speed and power. The student is shocked, unable to believe what he's witnessing. Meanwhile, the system confirms the active quest to defeat Choi Chang-dong and outlines the reward. Hyun sits on top of his defeated opponent, having won the fight. The system notification confirms his victory, quest completed. Hyun is surprised to see his jab mastery has increased. Meanwhile, the defeated guy lies on the ground unconscious, and the others start panicking, wondering if Hyun actually killed him. The boy snaps out of his daze when his friend grabs his arm, reminding him it's not the time to just stand around. The two boys have managed to escape. Exhausted, they sit down outside to catch their breath. One of them acknowledges that although they got away for now, this is only the beginning. The student explains that their class and the whole school are likely in chaos. He reveals the real reason the school thugs are so intimidating. They always act together. At that moment, a furious student charges in, yelling Kim Soo-hyun's name, confirming the threat isn't over yet. Soo-hyun feels anxious about returning to school, fearing he'll be attacked again. When asked how he learned to fight, he casually claims he picked it up from watching YouTube videos, surprising everyone. Soo-hyun reflects on his recent battle and notices a new system notification. It reveals his boxing jab skill is ranked F with 97 out of 100 mastery. He begins to wonder what would happen if the mastery reaches full. Soo-hyun's friend remembers to check his quest rewards, acting suspicious while brushing it off as talking to himself. Both of them activate their reward cards. Soo-hyun wonders if others can see it, while his friend misinterprets the situation and makes a joke. Soo-hyun checks his rewards and is visibly surprised as two distinct cards appear before him. Soo-hyun is stunned by what he sees, questioning if it's really possible. Suddenly, a group of girls approaches, with one of them asking what he's doing. Both Soo-hyun and his friend realize they are in serious trouble after being spotted. Baek Chaerin approaches Soo-hyun and asks where he's been, revealing that the boys were searching for him frantically. Soo-hyun, surprised, wonders if she's not angry with him. Soo-hyun awkwardly admits he somehow got involved in a fight. The girl in front of him, instead of reprimanding him, offers to overlook the situation and tells him to go home early. Soo-hyun is caught off guard by her leniency. Soo-hyun and his friend are cornered by a group of students. Soo-hyun lowers his head, realizing there's no escape. The other students whisper, trying to confirm his identity. Soo-hyun panics internally, unsure of what to do next. Soo-hyun finds himself surrounded by students questioning if he's the one who beat Choi Chang-dong. The pressure makes him anxious and unsure of what to do. Meanwhile, others are shocked and mocking Chang-dong's defeat, making fun of the fact that he was taken down by someone like Soo-hyun, leaving Soo-hyun's friend frustrated by the teasing. The character with glasses is punched hard in the face mid-sentence, cutting off his words. A furious student aggressively confronts others in the room. He yells at them to stop staring and to leave, asserting dominance with threatening language. Soo-hyun is surrounded by bullies mocking and pressuring him, asking if he plans to fight them too. Despite the tension, he stays silent, deep in thought, trying to figure out what to do. Internally, he's debating whether to endure the beating and stall for time, hoping someone might arrive to help. The narration reveals the arrival of a powerful figure, a student known for defeating all the seniors with boxing on his very first day. This intimidating fighter is Ha-jun from West Gangbuk High, earning the title of the undefeated god. One of the students nervously reacts upon recognizing Ha-jun, forcing a smile and greeting him, but his inner fear is evident as he stammers in panic. Gu Ha-jun arrives at school, standing confidently in the hallway. His presence surprises everyone. His classmates rush over and start explaining the situation. They inform him that Choi Chong-song got knocked out. The student with a sly smile informs Gu Ha-jun that the incident occurred in the bathroom, suggesting something serious or embarrassing took place there. Gu Ha-jun's expression shifts to one of focused intensity as he processes what he just heard. His face shows controlled anger and anticipation, hinting that something is about to go down. The guy nervously admits his mistake, realizing the tension rising. Then Gu Ha-jun, unfazed, asks who Choi Chong-dong is. Chong-dong, clearly intimidated, reluctantly raises his hand and identifies himself. In these panels, Gu Ha-jun questions if the boy in front of him is really the one who knocked out his subordinate. The boy nervously confirms. Then, Gu Ha-jun calmly asks to see the boy's face, to which he hesitantly agrees. Tension builds as the confrontation becomes personal. Gu Ha-jun confronts Soo-hyun and directly asks if he was the one who knocked out Choi Chong-dong. Soo-hyun nervously admits that he did. Gu Ha-jun, maintaining a calm but serious expression, follows up by asking Soo-hyun why he did it, seeking an explanation for the incident. Gu Ha-jun explains the reason behind his actions. He says the other guy started it by making inappropriate comments about his sister, showing that Ha-jun's motivation was to defend his family's dignity. The protagonist, frustrated and emotional, yells that the other guy disrespected his family first. Gu Ha-jun, unfazed, responds coldly, questioning if that's really all there is to it. The main character is caught off guard as Gu Ha-jun suddenly approaches and challenges him. Ha-jun, calm yet intense, steps in and directly tells him to hit him, testing his courage and resolve. The guy grabs his wrist tightly and challenges him to throw a punch. Meanwhile, one of the boys in the group clarifies that it wasn't boxing at all, hinting that the truth behind the incident is something else entirely. The bullied student sits silently while others mock him, one patting his head. Then, Gu Ha-jun steps in, staring coldly and asking if he should be the one to hit him instead. The boy is visibly nervous and conflicted. He's unsure if he should hit the other guy as asked, questioning whether it's the right move or if it might backfire. The other person calmly tells him it's okay and even promises to ignore everything if he does it, which only adds more pressure and confusion. Gu Ha-jun calmly promises that everything will be okay if the boy hits him. Just as the boy is about to act, he suddenly realizes something and hesitates in shock. Two mysterious glowing cards appear, one blue and one orange. The protagonist recognizes them immediately. These are the special cards he received earlier. As Gu Ha-jun stands menacingly in front of him, the protagonist wonders if he can use those mysterious cards now to change the situation. The system issues a new quest. Win the fight with Ko Ha-jun, the leader of Gangbuk-seo High. The objective is clear. Defeat him within 3 days to earn a platinum card. Ko Ha-jun, calm and assertive, looks at the protagonist and says, "I said let's go." Caught off guard, the protagonist stares at him in disbelief and shouts, "What?" Then, unable to hold back his frustration, he yells, "For fuck's sake." Gu Ha-jun stares down at the protagonist and calmly asks, "You got something to say?" From the protagonist's perspective, We hear his thoughts. No wonder things were working out too well. Suddenly, a system notification appears. Fight with the leader of West Gangbuk High, Gu Hejun, and win. Time left, 71 hours, 59 minutes, and 1 second. Shocked, the protagonist thinks. There's even a time limit? I fail the quest if I don't fight him and win within 3 days. The stakes have just risen dramatically. The protagonist screams in panic. Aarayag, I have no chance of beating him. His expression is filled with fear and desperation. In the next scene, he sits in the cafeteria, frozen mid-bite, quietly asking himself, what should I do? He's overwhelmed by the reality of the quest he's been assigned and is unsure how to proceed. The protagonist reflects on how the quest system allowed him to get closer to Gu Hejun. He believed he was finally on the path to living a normal school life. But that hope is shattered. Now, the system demands that he fight and defeat Gu Hejun in a real battle. His friend, Soo-hyun, unknowingly confirms his fear by saying the name aloud. Gu Hejun, the leader of West Gangbuk High. The weight of the challenge fully sinks in. As the tension rises, Ko Hejun checks his phone and says, I think I'm going to throw up. He's stunned by what he sees, barely able to eat. Narration, this is crazy. Soo-hyun and his friend are quietly eating. His friend whispers, why is he eating with us? Soo-hyun calmly replies, because I'm his friend. Despite rumors, Soo-hyun thinks, even though there are bad rumors about him, he's just a really nice guy. The protagonist looks conflicted as he watches Gu Hejun stand up from the lunch table. Internally, he's overwhelmed by the quest demanding him to fight someone who's been nothing but kind to him. He questions, why do I have to fight someone like that? Gu Hejun, unaware of the protagonist's inner turmoil, casually says, I'll leave first. Soo-hyun, startled and nervous, quickly responds, why yeah? As Hejun walks away with his lunch tray, the protagonist thinks to himself, why do I have to fight someone who's so nice to me? Suddenly, the protagonist's eyes widen in shock, reacting to the emotional confusion and the impossible task he's now facing. All he can say is, huh? Reflecting his disbelief, Soo-hyun playfully leans on his friend's shoulder and says confidently, that's easy. His friend, clearly flustered, responds, am I easy? Then, feeling a bit uneasy, he nervously asks, so what do you intend to do with me? Soo-hyun, staying cheerful, just brushes it off. Please shut up. He then makes a bold declaration in his mind. I don't need to do it. Cut to next scene. Soo-hyun walking outside, smiling confidently. Looking relaxed, Soo-hyun thinks to himself, all I need to do is give up the quest. The protagonist confidently thinks, Hejun's got my back anyways. He smiles, believing his school life will be smooth with Hejun around. He's convinced there's no reason to fight Hejun. He reflects on his true goal. All he ever wanted was a normal school life. A system window displays the quest to fight Gu Hejun. But if he fights Hejun and loses, he imagines the consequences. He'll lose all his rewards, and his relationship with Hejun will collapse. He comes to a conclusion. So instead of risking everything, he decides to give up the quest now. He laughs to himself, thinking this is the safest way forward. The protagonist excitedly waves and calls out to Hejun, expressing his joy and trust in their friendship. He believes everything will be fine because of their bond. But Hejun is seen brutally smashing an enemy's face into the wall without hesitation, showing no mercy. The beaten guy, trembling and bruised, apologizes to Hejun, barely able to speak. Hejun, confused and cold, asks what he's apologizing for, while the guy stammers nervously, struggling to explain. Hejun slams a guy's head into the wall with full force, yelling about his crew. Jinwoo watches in shock, unable to comprehend what he's witnessing. The beaten student, crying and bruised, apologizes as he's held by the hair. A girl approaches the protagonist from behind and asks if he really thought that guy was a nice person. Baek Chiron calmly reveals that Hejun has always been that way, implying a hidden side to him. She explains that the student being beaten up is being punished for not paying up. The protagonist realizes she's referring to the money extorted from other students. He admits he knows about it, because he also has to pay. Chiron continues, saying the money goes straight into Hejun's pocket. He uses others to do his dirty work and steals from behind their backs. She walks away, warning Soo-hyun to really think about what kind of person Hejun is. Soo-hyun stands there, confused and stunned, unable to process everything he just heard. The main character is shocked and overwhelmed after learning the truth, his expression showing confusion and unease. Hejun casually leans against the wall with one hand on a beaten-up student, smiling as if nothing unusual is happening. The protagonist hesitantly approaches Hejun, visibly nervous, and prepares to ask him something important. The protagonist asks Gu Hejun why he's always so nice to him. He begins to answer with a serious expression, saying, "Obviously because." Gu Hejun puts his arm around him and casually says it's because he's good at boxing, surprising the protagonist. The protagonist supports a weakened Gu Hejun. He recalls Hejun once saying, "Before I met you, all of the others were like bugs." This line made him feel special, as if he stood out from everyone else. A different character smiles and casually asks, "Why do you ask?" The protagonist realizes something. Gu Hejun was only kind to him because he thought he was strong, not because of any deeper connection. The protagonist looks shocked and anxious. He fears that if Hejun finds out he can't actually fight, he'll lose his respect, his sense of purpose, and won't even be seen as human anymore. The older student grabs the protagonist by the shoulders, sensing something is wrong. He urges him to open up, but the protagonist hesitates, struggling to speak. Tears stream down the protagonist's face as he forces a smile. Despite his emotions, he convinces himself that crying only means he must keep fighting. A quiet night scene, symbolizing a calm before the storm where the emotional weight of the moment just passed. The protagonist begins training, throwing a jab as the system recognizes the move. Determined and focused, he's ready to push forward. With sweat dripping and eyes filled with resolve, he reminds himself that he can't return to his old, helpless self. Quitting is no longer an option. Exhausted and lying on a bench, he stares up at the sky, frustrated but determined, wondering how they can defeat their powerful opponent. The protagonist is overwhelmed in combat. His jabs have no effect, and he's struck down, questioning if a single jab could ever defeat his opponent. In a moment of desperation, he remembers the special cards he possesses, Healing Beans and High Pitch. A spark of hope reignites as he thinks he might stand a chance. But reality hits. Despite the items, he smiles with bitter acceptance, realizing it's still not enough. Victory isn't possible, not yet. The protagonist hears someone approaching and looks up as a voice calls out, "Excuse me." A group of older boys confronts him. One casually asks if he's in high school, raising suspicion about their intentions. The protagonist nervously replies. One of the boys pretends to understand, then shifts the conversation, claiming they don't have money to get home and asking him to lend them some, hinting at an upcoming confrontation. The main guy from a group pretends to understand the situation and act sympathetic, saying he also doesn't have money, maintaining a fake polite tone. The mood shifts. Surrounded, the protagonist is told bluntly that he clearly doesn't understand what's going on. The group's true intentions start to surface. The leader drops the act completely, aggressively declaring he's ripping him off. The protagonist is caught off guard and panics. The protagonist nervously explains that he truly doesn't have any money, trying to avoid confrontation. The thug clenches his fist, assuming the protagonist is resisting, and threatens him with violence, saying he looks like the kind who needs a beating to comply. Before the thug can act, the protagonist lands a clean jab to his face. The system registers the move, marking a sudden and decisive counterattack. The protagonist is stunned by the impact of his own punch, surprised at how effective it was. The thug clutches his face in pain and quickly backpedals, apologizing and pretending the protagonist struck first. He shifts the blame, calling him the type who throws the first punch. A system notification appears. His jab skill has leveled up. The protagonist stares in shock, realizing he's just grown stronger. The protagonist looks at the system window in disbelief, surprised that his skill has reached mastery. He checks his attack card, boxing jab, now maxed out at 100. He realizes it hadn't increased past 97 for a long time and wonders if landing a real hit was the key to leveling up. The system congratulates him, confirming that he has officially mastered the jab. The system announces that the protagonist's jab has ranked up to E. He looks at his fist, shocked and amazed. Realizing the jab is now officially E rank, he begins to understand that with each level, the skill might become even stronger. But while he's caught in thought, the thug charges at him furiously, shouting and preparing to strike, taking advantage of his distraction. The protagonist lands another powerful jab, hitting the thug square in the chest with explosive force. He immediately notices the difference. The jab feels sharper, faster, and far more precise than before. The thug is left stunned, realizing too late that the punch wasn't just quick, it was also much stronger. The protagonist clenches his glowing fist, now empowered by the upgraded jab, filled with new hope. As he looks down at his defeated opponent, he wonders if this power is enough to challenge Guhajun. But reality returns. The thug is still conscious, groaning in pain, while his gang watches. The moment of confidence is interrupted. The other thugs crack their knuckles and step forward menacingly. One of them gives the order to kill him. The protagonist panics, unsure of what to do next. Suddenly, a system notification pops up. A side quest has been created, catching everyone off guard. The quest instructs him to defeat 5 thugs for a silver card reward, but also mentions a hidden requirement. The protagonist realizes this is his first official side quest and wonders what the secret condition might be. The system informs him that side quests can be abandoned. He's surprised, but instantly considers giving up to avoid the upcoming fight. However, the thugs charge toward him without hesitation. Surrounded and outnumbered, panic sets in. But instead of retreating, he clenches his shirt and reinforces his resolve. He refuses to back down, questioning why he would even think of giving up. Fueled by rage and determination, the protagonist screams at the gang, declaring he won't back down no matter what. The system officially begins the side quest, confirming that the battle is now in motion. With renewed energy, he shouts that he's not afraid. The system activates the high-pitch card, enhancing his combat potential as he prepares to earn more cards through the fight. Soo-hyun stares ahead nervously, thinking he'll be attacked as soon as class ends. He's clearly tense, expecting the worst. Suddenly, someone calls his name, Kim Soo-hyun. He realizes who it is, Choi Chang-dong. This surprises Soo-hyun even more, and the tension spikes. Chang-dong casually asks, "You were here?" Soo-hyun recognizes him instantly, mentally exclaiming his name. The classroom watches with curiosity. A student asks, "What are you going to do?" Another comments, "So what? Will you fight?" Soo-hyun tries to stay calm, but is clearly panicking inside, wondering if he really has to fight again. Chang-dong delivers the message. Hajun wants to see him after school. This catches Soo-hyun completely off guard. His eyes widen in pure disbelief. Chang-dong, done with his task, walks away nonchalantly, saying he did his part. Soo-hyun, panicking, tries to stop him, but he's already gone. Soo-hyun nervously admits to himself that he's scared. He knows that facing Gu Hajun is unavoidable. A classmate confirms Soo-hyun is expected to meet Hajun after school. The tension rises. Another student bluntly says that if Soo-hyun doesn't show up, things could be worse for him. He gets warned that skipping the meeting would just result in a more brutal beating the next day. Soo-hyun is now cornered. The vending machine glows in a dramatic pause, showing Soo-hyun has a brief moment of thought or decision. Night falls. Soo-hyun hesitantly walks into the designated place, anxious and uncertain. As he enters, Hajun casually greets him. "Sup?" Soo-hyun immediately breaks into a nervous sweat. Hajun calls out Soo-hyun's name while sitting confidently with his group. The environment is calm but intimidating. Soo-hyun's inner voice screams, he's scared. But he listens. Hajun instructs him to sit. Soo-hyun stammers and nervously responds, "Okay." Soo-hyun sits silently at the karaoke room table, observing the surroundings filled with snacks and drinks. He thinks to himself, look at all the drinks. This is the first time I've seen so many in real life. He's clearly overwhelmed, unfamiliar with this kind of setting. Nearby, two girls whisper to each other. One asks, hey, do you know who that is? The other shrugs. Dunno. Then, noticing Soo-hyun's frozen posture, she comments, he's just staring at the drinks. Their casual observation adds to Soo-hyun's discomfort. A voice suddenly calls out, hey, Kim Soo-hyun. He looks up, startled. He recognizes the voice and thinks, wait, she was here too? It's a girl he clearly didn't expect to see in this setting. She questions him directly, why did you come here? Soo-hyun freezes. She repeats her question with more insistence. I said, why did you come here? He nervously responds, Hajun invited me. Internally, he repeats, she was here too, still surprised by her presence. Another voice chimes in from across the room, trying to stir things up. Hey, new guy, sing us a song. Soo-hyun stiffens, panic setting in. He thinks, sing? I can't sing, though. He's clearly not ready for the attention. His eyes land on the karaoke remote, its buttons glowing. He thinks, oh man, this is insane. All the buttons are lit up. I don't even know what to press. The pressure mounts. Despite his panic, Soo-hyun takes a deep breath. He thinks, let's just try it. And with that, he presses the remote. A message flashes on screen, activating high pitch. Soo-hyun stands confidently in front of the karaoke mic, a glow of energy surrounding him. He thinks to himself, since I have my cards, he activates a skill that boosts his performance. A bright aura and music notes swirl around him. He begins to sing. His voice surprises everyone in the room. We see a close-up of him giving it his all, eyes glowing, backed by the high-pitched singing effect from the activated card. He holds the mic with confidence, his voice reverberating through the room. One of the girls pauses mid-sip, clearly stunned. Her face turns serious, eyebrows slightly raised as she listens intently. Two girls sitting nearby whisper to each other. One says, wow. The other adds, amazing. They're visibly impressed. Even Hajun, sitting casually with a drink, looks up in mild surprise. He murmurs, whoa, even he didn't expect this level of performance. Soo-hyun finishes the song and looks slightly shy. He rubs the back of his neck and nervously asks, did I do well? He's clearly unsure, despite the stunned reactions. The black-haired girl, calm and composed, responds with a slight smirk. I thought you'd sing some anime track. Her tone is neutral, but shows she didn't expect that kind of song from him. Two girls at the table whisper among themselves. Girl 1 says with a giggle, me too, LOL. Girl 2 responds, he's kinda cute. They're clearly impressed by Soo-hyun's earlier performance. One of the girls leans in and asks, do you think he likes someone? The other girl, visibly excited, adds, man, that was surprising. The focus shifts to a group of guys talking nearby. One of them looks at Soo-hyun and asks, so, are you going to talk to him? Another replies, dude, he's saying with no hesitation. He's got balls. They're acknowledging that Soo-hyun has guts. A third guy reacts, I thought he was going to get beat up the moment he walked in. Then, with a confused expression, he says, Hajun, who is he? The next guy wonders aloud, wait, that wasn't Hajun's friend. Soo-hyun is standing nervously with the mic. He's confused and processing what he just heard. He thinks, Hajun's friend? So, he walked in with Hajun and got to sing. Then realization hits him. What the? Soo-hyun is standing nervously with the mic. He's confused and processing what he just heard. He thinks, Hajun's friend? So, he walked in with Hajun and got to sing. Then realization hits him. What the? Soo-hyun is stunned. Apparently, everyone saw me walk in with Hajun. His eyes widen. He's not going to hit me? One of the boys suddenly asks, hey Soo-hyun, want to sing another song? Soo-hyun, now a little more confident, quickly replies, I'm down. Another guy adds, oh, he's chill. With a smile, Soo-hyun thinks, I finally know now. And then it hits him what my answer is. As he smiles brightly, he finishes his thought. The rumors were false. Soo-hyun smiles and calmly reassures someone. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. His thoughts follow. Hajun was a nice guy all along. His fear has now completely turned into admiration. A beautiful sky fades in with light shining through the clouds as Soo-hyun walks. This is a first. He looks content, finally at peace. Excited and energized, Soo-hyun heads out the door. I'm off to school. Then he reflects happily. I've never looked forward to walking to school. As he walks alongside other students, he observes, I don't even care if I get made fun of now. He's finally feeling a sense of belonging. Smiling brightly, he continues thinking, my school life is set now. Then adds with confidence, Hajun told me to trust him if anything happens. Suddenly, the familiar system screen pops up. System, there are no active quests. Soo-hyun comments internally. There really haven't been any since yesterday. His mind drifts in curiosity. I should go ask Hajun about the quests. But then, a voice from behind calls out to him. Yo! Soo-hyun turns his head and responds. Huh. Soo-hyun arrives at school when Hajun spots him. Hajun greets him casually. Now you're here. Soo-hyun smiles back. Yeah. Soo-hyun asks. You just came as well? Hajun responds. Let's head in together. Suddenly, a familiar blue screen flashes in front of Soo-hyun. System, starting the main quest. Soo-hyun is startled and thinks. Main quest. His thoughts continue as excitement builds. Tutorial is over. So the main storyline begins now. He wonders eagerly, what will the rewards be? Another screen pops up. System, you will receive a platinum card once the main quest is completed. Soo-hyun is shocked. Platinum card? He recalls that a platinum card is ranked higher than the gold cards he's received before. That's a step above gold. This must be insanely powerful. Determined, he adds, I don't care how hard it is. Someone nearby asks, what are you doing? But Soo-hyun ignores the question as his eyes lock onto the next system prompt. System, fight with the leader of class 1-1, Lee Byung-jin, and force his submission. Reward, platinum card. Time limit, 72 hours. Soo-hyun clenches his fist, eyes filled with resolve, and then say, let's go. The protagonist, with a worried expression, acknowledges Gu Hajun's intimidating reputation. But what's even more alarming is the challenge ahead. He must defeat the leader of West Gangbuk High within just 3 days. Then, he checks his attack card. It's a boxing jab with a skill rank of F, 97 out of 100. But the harsh reality sinks in. Even that didn't work on him. Hajin stares up nervously as a tall student confronts him and asks, you got something to say? Overwhelmed, Hajin internally panics, thinking, what should I do? Suddenly, the system responds with notifications. As the main quest proceeds, a side quest will be activated. The system announces a new reward. You can now earn even more cards. The system confirms that the side quest is now officially underway. With focused determination in his eyes, the protagonist reassures himself that he can handle it. The gang mocks him, asking if he's boxed before. But despite their confidence, the protagonist reminds himself, it's only 5 of them. The protagonist panics, questioning how he could possibly fight off 5 opponents. But then he comes up with a desperate plan, 1 jab for each of them. He unleashes another powerful jab, the system recognizing it again. It's the only move he has, but he's putting everything into it. One of the thugs watches in shock as his ally, Sankyeol, drops from the sudden blow. Reality hits them. They underestimated him. The protagonist stands tense as the other thugs panic, shouting Sankyeol's name and questioning if he's okay. They surround Sankyeol, trying to wake him up. His eyes remain shut, and confusion turns to fear. They think he might be unconscious or worse. The protagonist watches in shock as the system confirms 1 win out of 5. While the others scream in denial, he questions the damage he just caused. Did he actually kill him? The protagonist is relieved after hearing one of the thugs confirm that Sankyeol is just knocked out from a clean hit to the chin. The leader yells at his group to attack. The protagonist analyzes the situation, realizing chin strikes might be his key to survival, and knows he must stay sharp. 3 thugs step up aggressively. They downplay the knockout as luck and threaten him, but the protagonist stays alert, knowing 4 enemies still remain. The gang mocks him, asking if he's boxed before. But despite their confidence, the protagonist reminds himself it's only 5 of them. He realizes that if he gets surrounded, it's over. He needs to think smart, not just fight hard. He reflects in silence, trying to prove to himself that he can handle this on his own. The gang spots the protagonist hiding in a corner and mocks him, thinking he's given up or panicking. The protagonist hides inside a narrow hallway, catching his breath. It's a tight space, perfect for controlling the fight one-on-one. Though his strategy is sound, he knows his stamina is wearing thin. The gang continues taunting him, but he remains focused, knowing this spot gives him the best chance. The thugs mock him, saying he has no stamina and only knows how to jab. But the protagonist holds a glowing item. His plan is clear now. He consumes the healing beans. The system confirms it, and his energy begins to return. Meanwhile, one thug steps forward, ready to attack. The system notifies that his stamina is fully refilled. The thug charges at him, yelling that this hit is for Sankyo. The protagonist counters the charging thug with a precise and powerful jab, landing a clean hit as the system registers it. He immediately dashes forward, pressing the attack to maintain control of the fight in the narrow hallway. With rapid, continuous jabs, he overwhelms the thug. The system repeatedly confirms each strike. This isn't just one hit anymore, it's a full barrage. The remaining thugs are stunned. They expected the protagonist to be exhausted, but his relentless attacks are catching them off guard. The protagonist realizes he's finally mastered the jab. With control and confidence, he feels capable of fighting freely, and even considers facing Guhajun someday. Another thug is down. The system marks 2 out of 5 victories. The protagonist tightens his stance, believing he can win if he keeps this up. The remaining thugs panic. With both Sankyo and Dongjin down, they start dramatically mourning their friends, believing they've fallen in battle. The protagonist activates the high-pitch card, dashing in at full speed while yelling that no one is dead, correcting their overreactions mid-fight. He lands a precise jab to the chin. The system logs another victory, 3 out of 5. The keyword remains clear: target the chin. The protagonist lands a final jab to the thug's chin. The system confirms all 5 enemies are defeated, completing the side quest. Exhausted, he collapses among the unconscious bodies. The system declares the side quest complete. He breathes heavily, realizing he actually finished it. The protagonist looks up in shock as the system notifies him, hidden requirements achieved. A system message reveals the hidden condition. He won without taking any damage from enemies. Another system alert appears. Congratulations. You receive a gold card for achieving the hidden requirement. The protagonist stands frozen, stunned by the unexpected reward. The protagonist reflects on how he was simply running away out of fear of getting hit. He's surprised that this act unintentionally met the hidden requirement. He stares at the golden reward card in awe, realizing that achieving the hidden requirement has now upgraded his quest rewards. He begins to say reward, in shock, then breaks into a wide-eyed realization, calling himself fortunate for this unexpected outcome. The protagonist excitedly commands the system to reveal the gold card. His expression turns to shock as he sees something unexpected. He stares at the card in confusion, wondering what it means. A sunny school building is shown, indicating the setting has shifted back to a normal school day. The system issues a mission: fight Gu Hajun, the leader of West Gangbuk High, and win within 8 hours. The reward is a platinum card. The protagonist sits at his desk looking stressed, showing that 3 days have passed since the quest was given, and the deadline is approaching. The protagonist is stressed, realizing there's only 8 hours left to complete his task. He reviews his cards: an E-rank jab, healing beans, and a new gold card, totaling 4 cards. He remembers how powerful Gu Hajun is, shown standing over a pile of defeated students. Despite the odds, he's determined to win. The protagonist looks determined and anxious, realizing that if he doesn't act, things will return to how they used to be, filled with bullying and violence. Flashback sequence shows the protagonist's traumatic past, where he was constantly beaten and humiliated by others. Sitting in class, his friend Kuza notices something is wrong and jokingly asks about it. The protagonist, while brushing it off, internally resolves to protect Kuza as well. The protagonist smiles, realizing that Gu Hejun has always helped him and taken beatings in his place. Kuza reflects on how lucky he is to have a true friend like Gu Hejun, who even took hits for him. The protagonist regrets never expressing his gratitude and decides to thank Kuza while he still can. Soo-hyun smiles and sincerely thanks Kuza, feeling like he's heading towards something final. Kuza looks concerned and questions Soo-hyun's words. Soo-hyun is surprised as he hears someone's arrival. Gu Hejun has appeared. Gu Hejun stands confidently in the doorway and asks what Soo-hyun is doing. Hejun suggests going to the cafeteria. Soo-hyun internally debates whether to tell Hejun about the upcoming fight, unsure how to approach it. Soo-hyun forces a smile and agrees to go to the cafeteria, hiding his fear and deciding to delay telling him. Two students are walking together, laughing and chatting casually. One of them is holding an ice cream cone. The student with the ice cream accidentally bumps into someone, smearing the ice cream onto the person's shirt. Looking surprised, the student apologizes and asks who the other person is, not realizing whom he just ran into. Gu Hejun turns around after someone calls his name, looking serious and focused. The main character is visibly shocked and tense upon seeing Hejun. A girl calmly brushes her hair, unfazed by the tension in the room. The boy with glasses looks uneasy, sweating slightly as he observes the situation. Gu Hejun holds another student by the collar, looking serious while speaking. The main character stands silently, thinking about how they were supposed to head to the cafeteria, as he looks at the tense scene unfolding. Gu Hejun stares coldly at Soo-hyun and calls him a son of a bitch, filled with disgust. Soo-hyun glares back, angrily calling out Gu Hejun with the same insult. He declares that the reason he received the cards was to take down someone like him. Soo-hyun begins to speak with determination. He utters Kim Soo-hyun's name, signaling that he's finally ready to act. Gu Hejun looks at Soo-hyun and asks, "Was that directed at me?" Soo-hyun responds without fear, saying, "It was Motherf ******. He internally expresses his trust in the card system. With a fierce glare, Soo-hyun warns, "Open your jaws, be *****. Determined and confident, Soo-hyun prepares to unleash his new gold card, saying, "I'm going to shove a new trick down your throat." The protagonist stares with determination, thinking to himself, "Good. Now I just need to do as I practice." He raises his hand confidently and calls out Kim Soo-hyun's name, preparing to confront him. He thinks, "Here it comes." Instead of reacting aggressively, Kim Soo-hyun suddenly pats him on the head and smirks, saying, "I'm touched." The protagonist is left confused, thinking, "Huh?" Gu Hejun smirks and asks sarcastically if the other guy got mad because he messed with his classmate. The main character is shocked and confused as Gu Hejun casually pats his head, telling him not to get mad because friends don't fight. With his arm around the protagonist's shoulder, Gu Hejun cheerfully says, "Let's go get some food." The scene opens with students casually hanging out in the schoolyard. A group of boys are seen playing soccer, giving a normal school day vibe. Two female students are gossiping on the bleachers. One of them asks if the other heard about what happened earlier. The mood shifts with curiosity. The conversation intensifies as they reveal that someone tried to pick a fight with Gu Hejun, a notorious and powerful student. They're shocked and eager to know who would dare to confront him. Kim Soo-hyun sits alone on the stairs and reveals with a serious expression, it was Kim Soo-hyun. His posture and tone show the weight of the situation. He reflects in disbelief, wondering how he's still alive. He recalls hearing that Gu Hejun said he wouldn't fight and expresses his surprise at the unexpected apology. Conflicted thoughts race through his mind. He questions what he should do next. He realizes the rumors about Hejun being good to his friends might be true and begins to consider that Hejun truly sees him as a friend. Soo-hyun reflects that no matter how bad the rumors are about Gu Hejun, he still treats him normally. Other students are laughing nearby, but Soo-hyun stays lost in thought. Soo-hyun looks at the quest screen, which says he must fight Gu-ha-jun and win within 2 hours to earn a platinum card. He realizes time is running out, and he might not act at all. A friend notices Soo-hyun's change in mood and asks what's wrong. Soo-hyun replies it's about Gu-ha-jun again. The girl laughs and teases Kim Soo-hyun, asking if he got mad after seeing Gu-ha-jun beat someone up. Soo-hyun denies it, saying that wasn't the reason. Kim Soo-hyun quietly calls out Baek Chiron. She looks at him curiously and responds with Soo-hyun asks her directly why she hangs out with someone like Gu-ha-jun. The girl laughs and teases Kim Soo-hyun, asking if he got mad after seeing Gu-ha-jun beat someone up. Soo-hyun denies it, saying that wasn't the reason. Kim Soo-hyun quietly calls out Baek Chiron. She looks at him curiously and responds with Soo-hyun asks her directly why she hangs out with someone like Gu-ha-jun. Soo-hyun recalls how Baek Chiron helped him when he was beaten by Choi Chang-song and also informed him about Gu-ha-jun. He reflects on how she doesn't bully others even when surrounded by delinquents, and sometimes even acts kindly. Baek Chiron responds coldly, saying she only does it because it's convenient. Baek Chiron responds calmly, asking if he was expecting a different answer. Kim Soo-hyun processes her response quietly and says, I see. Kim Soo-hyun looks down, disappointed, starting to say, you are just another, but gets interrupted by someone calling hey. Baek Chiron sternly warns Kim Soo-hyun not to cross the line. Chiron explains that talking to him doesn't mean they're close. Soo-hyun apologizes, saying he thought they were friends. Chiron silently blames her looks for the misunderstanding. Someone urgently yells Kim Soo-hyun's name, catching him off guard. He turns around, surprised. The student yells at Kim Soo-hyun, warning him that it's not the time to be relaxing. The student's face is filled with panic and urgency. Kim Soo-hyun's eye widens in shock, realizing something serious is happening. Kim Soo-hyun is shocked, reacting to unexpected news with a confused expression. The scene shifts to an open schoolyard or rooftop area, setting up a new location. A group of delinquents mockingly laugh at something they overheard, clearly targeting someone as they joke about repeating it. The student demands Gu-ha-jun to be called, showing determination. One of the delinquents mocks the student, touching his face and sarcastically asking if Ha-jun must appear just because he said so. They recognize him as Soo-hyun's sidekick and belittle him, suggesting he's mistaken if he thinks he's important just because of that connection. A student aggressively charges forward, shouting that the other guy doesn't even look like a high schooler. Another group of students walks forward, but one of them tells the group to stop. Gu-ha-jun arrives calmly, wearing slippers, and confronts the group, saying, So, you were looking for me. Gu-ha-jun shows up calmly and asks, What's up? While facing the group. His friend clenches his fist in frustration, but hesitates and says, Stop. Then, he yells at the group, demanding them to stop messing with Soo-hyun. Gu-ha-jun is confused and asks, What? As the student sternly tells him to stop messing with Soo-hyun, accusing him of bullying by using his strength to control him. In a sudden outburst, Gu-ha-jun punches the student hard in the face, sending him flying. The onlookers are stunned. One of them reacts in shock, calling the scene insane. Gu-ha-jun crouches next to the student he slapped, declaring that he and Soo-hyun are friends. Ha-jun aggressively covers the other student's face with his hand, expressing his hatred for kids like him. He then delivers a powerful punch, accusing them of not acting like humans. The bruised student says that the world is divided into different classes, implying they're the hierarchy people should stick to. Ha-jun grabs the student's collar and questions if he was messing with Soo-hyun, before asserting that what the student is doing right now is exactly that. Ha-jun, smiling slightly, warns the student not to hang out with Soo-hyun anymore, saying that he's lowering Soo-hyun's status. The guy in glasses says if the reason for interference is friendship with Soo-hyun, then it's misplaced. He adds that Soo-hyun probably doesn't even see him as a friend. Just then, another student appears and lands a surprise jab to the face of the guy in the white shirt, assisted by the system. The onlookers are shocked by the sudden attack. A foot steps forward as someone mutters Soo-hyun's name with tension. The black-haired guy reacts with a questioning look and asks, Soo-hyun? The man with glasses answers seriously, Yakuza. A flashback shows a younger version of the character being scolded or protected in a classroom. He begins to speak seriously. He admits that if it weren't for Soo-hyun, he wouldn't have been able to survive. A student bursts into the room shouting, alerting others that a fight has broken out. Students inside the classroom react in shock after hearing about a fight. One asks where it's happening. Outside the school, Kim Soo-hyun and Gu Ha-jun face each other as a crowd of students gathers behind them. Students in the crowd whisper among themselves, wondering if the fight is really happening and whether the matchup is even fair. A student urgently warns Kim Soo-hyun, questioning if he's lost his mind for trying to take on Gu Ha-jun. A concerned classmate suggests stopping the fight, fearing Soo-hyun could die. But no one wants to intervene, knowing how dangerous it is. Someone calmly calls out Kim Soo-hyun's name, signaling the start of something serious. Gu Ha-jun questions Kim Soo-hyun, asking if he truly wants to go through with this fight. Soo-hyun, with his back turned, responds coldly. He's hurt, recalling how he once thought they were friends. Ha-jun cuts him off and clarifies his stance, saying the only friend he recognizes is Yakuza, showing how far their bond has broken. 3 glowing cards appear, gold, silver, and bronze, each indicating different quest choices. The protagonist enters a fighting stance, surrounded by radiant energy, calling this the most intense moment he's ever had at school. With fierce determination in his eyes, he declares he'll end the fight in 5 seconds. The system then activates the quest,